experience. They are all judged. But now I get to that which is even more difficult. Let's look at their common destination. We've seen their diversity, their common experience, their common destination. Notice what the text says in verse 15. And if anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. That is their destination. Now let's look at verse 10, because I need to make some clarifications here, because Dante has misled us. A number of years ago, I decided to read Dante, his Inferno, discovered that along with biblical teaching, it was confused with all kinds of legends and different medieval superstitions. For example, Dante says that in hell the demons have pitchforks and they go around tormenting people. Well, I want you to know today that in hell, Satan will torment no one. He will be the tormented. He will not be the tormentor. If Milton was right when he said that Satan rebelled because he would rather be a king in heaven than a servant on earth, Satan was sadly mistaken, because there are no kings in hell. No kings in hell. It says in the last part of verse 10 that he is thrown into the lake of fire and tormented day and night forever and ever. He will hardly be in a place to torment someone else. He who strutted about the earth trying to form his own kingdom will now discover that he is limited to the parameters of hell, the lake of fire, the place of torment. Is there literal fire in hell? We don't know that, of course, but if it is figurative, it is something that is still distressing, something that still torments. Remember that people will still have their same desires. They will be given indestructible bodies, but they will not be righteous bodies. They will be sinful bodies. And so here people will continue to crave that which they will never have. Remember in Hades, which is to be distinguished from hell, here it says Hades is thrown into the lake of fire. That's why in a previous message when I spoke on Hades, I think the message was titled The Descent into Gloom, I stressed the fact that no one is in hell today. Hades is to be distinct from that. But here Hades is thrown into the lake of fire. When it says the sea gave up the dead which were in it, that's a reference to the bodies of people who drowned centuries ago. God is going to resurrect them, and their spirits will be joined. Those are the spirits of those who are in Hades, so that they will be whole people, but the same people they were here on earth. Imagine an alcoholic craving for a drop of alcohol, and it's denied him. Imagine those who have cravings and sinful desires that they so abundantly nourished here on earth, and they crave these desires, and there is no satisfaction. That would be a kind of burning, would it not be? A kind of burning, a kind of fire that lasts forever. As for Satan himself, I like what Milton says about him. He said, Satan speaking says, "Which way I fly is hell. I myself am hell." He is going to be here tormented for his own wickedness, for his own deceit, for his own rebellion. And he will have in his mind the memories of when he was a cheerleader in the ages gone by, worshiping God. And now, as someone has said, he will never be able to sing again. He will only be able to howl. Yes, my friend, this is Pastor Lutzer. Satan will never be able to sing again. He will only be able to howl. And when you and I take the time to try to find out why it is that he rebelled, whether we are looking at Isaiah chapter 14, Ezekiel chapter 28, these chapters talk about his rebellion. And the bottom line is, he said, I will set my throne above the heavens. I will be like the Most High. If you ask the question, why is it that Satan fell? The answer, quite simply, is because of rebellion. He thought that he could take the place of God. And when he comes to you and me, as he did in the Garden of Eden to Eve and say, you can be like God, he doesn't mean that we can be like God in the sense of having omnipotence and omnipresence and so forth. No, 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 no. What he means is that we can be our own ruler, just as God is his own ruler. Now listen to me carefully. Satan rebelled, and a drop of that rebellion has fallen on every human heart. You and I basically are born as rebels. And when we see people go astray, selfishly cleaving to the wrong things, doing their own thing, that in a sense is a reenactment of the very thing that the devil himself has done. And what is the answer to self-will and rebellion? Well, the answer, my friend, is to bow humbly and to accept our place at the foot of the cross, acknowledging our need, acknowledging our rebellion, and submitting to God. Dearly beloved, submit yourselves to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Let's not be like the devil in our rebellion, but rather submit to the Almighty and walk with him in truth.
Thank you, Dr. Lutzer. Erwin Lutzer has brought part 2 of Can Modern Man Believe in Hell?, the 6th in his 7-part series, 1 Minute After You Die. On tomorrow's Running to Win, you'll hear an illustration of how long eternity is that you'll never forget. Running to Win comes to you from Chicago's Moody Church. 1 Minute After You Die can be yours on CD, cassette, or MP3, or as a full-length book. For information, call toll-free at 1-800-215-5001. That's 1-800-215-5001. For a great adventure, you can join Dr. Lutzer in the steps of Luther and the Reformers this June in Europe. For information, go to our website at runningtowin.org or call 1-888-771-8717. Don't forget, this broadcast is supported by listeners like you. This is Dave McAllister. Make it a point to join us for tomorrow's Running to Win.